we are currently in an ongoing series on food and cancer, and this is the third video in that series. So if you're just joining us, please use the link above to watch the first and second video. We've talked about the 4 main risk factors that expose people to cancer over a lifetime, and one of those was lifestyle choices. And in the previous video to this one, we talked about separating the facts from fictions, and we looked about 8 statements that is commonly said about cancer, and we assessed and established which ones were true and false. In today's video, I will be talking about the lifestyle choices that you need to make to reduce your chance of developing cancer over your lifetime. Now, some of these lifestyle choices will be things you need to stop, some things you need to change, and some things you need to reduce or do more of. Hey guys, welcome back to Food Decoded, where I help you reset your relationship with food, lose weight, keep it off for life, and eat healthy. My name is Yemi Fadikpe. I'm so happy that you stopped by. Welcome to my channel. So let's dive in without wasting time. The first lifestyle choice you need to make to reduce your risk of cancer is obvious. It is to quit smoking. And if you haven't started smoking, please, no matter what the peer pressure or peer influence is, try not to get on that bandwagon. Smoking is the highest risk factor for cancer, killing at least 7 million people annually. So, at least 7 million people die annually as a result of cancers that are directly linked to smoking. So, when you see those adverts that say smoking is dangerous for your health, smoking kills, smoking this and smoking that, it is not just being said for the sake of doing it. There is sufficient data everywhere to support that. By the way, I forgot to mention in my first 2 videos that if you want to find out more about the subject of food and cancer, I've included in all of my videos that you will be watching around this subject references and websites and places that you can go to actually get more information. The second lifestyle choice or change that you need to make to reduce your risk of cancer is to maintain an healthy weight. You know, it will always come to weight. And it's not because I'm author of weight loss code. It's just the science. You know what? Being overweight or obese has been linked to at least 12 different types of cancer, including things like ovarian cancer, colorectal cancer, stomach cancer, prostate cancer. Who would have thought? At least 12 cancers are linked to being overweight or obese. So looking after your weight, reducing your weight, maintaining an healthy weight is not just about looking good or looking young. It actually saves life. In the comments section or in the description somewhere under this video, I'm including a flyer showing you different parts of the body where obesity can cause cancer. So if you're interested in finding more, use the link below to download that flyer. What is an healthy weight? Your BMI needs to be between 18 and 24.9 for you to be an healthy weight. And on top of that, because some people have a BMI that is within that range, but they have a higher waist circumference. So your BMI needs to be between 18 and 24.5, and your waist circumference as a woman should be less than 80 centimeters or less than 90 centimeters if you are a man. If you are outside of these 2 parameters, waist circumference and BMI, you are overweight or obese and you need to do something about it. Now, this is an area where there is plenty of help for you. And if you want me to tell you where you can find help that is practical and sustainable, then go on to Amazon and get my book, The Weight Loss Code. It shares all the tips and principles and what I did to change my body weight from 93 to 72, 71, 72 within 6 months, and I've kept it off now for 5 years. 3, be physically active. You know, anytime we talk about weight, the next thing is activity. Being physically active reduces the risk of developing womb, breast, and bowel cancer. there are these three cancer types that studies have actually established or found that there is an inverse association, that the more active you are, the less the risk of these three cancer types. Now, where cancer prevention is concerned, we are talking about activity in terms of a mix of vigorous and moderate activity. If you remember when I talked about weight loss, I used to tell you that moderate activity is enough for weight loss. But for cancer prevention, this is where you need to step things up and actually work for your health. And it is a mix of vigorous and moderate. Now, something like 75 minutes of vigorous and 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week. And that can include walking, running, aerobics, swimming, dancing, whatever you enjoy. But you know what? For some of us, 75 minutes plus 150 minutes is a tall order. So what would I tell you? My advice would be anything is better than nothing. If you are currently inactive, just get up and start moving first. And then we can start building it up to this level that I'm talking about. Lifestyle change 4. Eat a lot more whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and beans. Whole grains will be things like your whole wheat bread. I know some of us don't like it. Whole grain like brown rice, oats, rather than refined white flour. Fruits and vegetables. Your beans, and I mean with beans, I mean pulses generally. Lentils, kidney beans, chickpeas, normal red beans, the African one, the Nigerian one. Beans generally, it's good for you. Now, these food products, all grains, fruits, vegetables, and beans actually contain nutrients that are naturally anti-carcinogenic. So it means things that are, anything that is carcinogenic has the propensity to cause cancer. So this contains, actually they contain nutrients that are anti-carcinogenic. So any cancer advice, dietary advice, or cancer prevention plan or management plan you find would include increasing of these food groups. Now there is a watch out here, guys. When it comes to cereals and grains, please, you need to avoid consumption of moldy cereals and grain. The moment you see mold developing on a cereal or a grain, whether in the raw state or in their processed state, please do not just clean and consume. Why? Because mold in grains develop aflatoxins, and aflatoxins have been directly linked to the development of liver cancer. So while grains are good for you, please do not consume moldy grains. Lifestyle choice number 5. Limit the consumption of overprocessed foods and fast foods. Yes, I know for some of us, the way that we treat our family is to hop by at Mark something, Mr. something, all those fast food places. We need to reduce the consumption of these foods because they are high in sugar, salt, and starches. And this increased consumption of these nutrients have also been linked to cancer. Now, the same applies for Western style diets that are also equally high in saturated fats, sugar, and red meat. This is where the transition that is happening in a lot of developing countries is worrying. When we have a bit of money and we start to get more comfortable, we start to eat less of our traditional food that are agri-based, high fiber food, and we start to embrace imported, canned, westernized food because we feel like we can now afford them. This is just a mindset thing. Western style diets is one of the big reasons why the prevalence of cancer is higher in the white population than the black. So please, if you don't know how to check whether your food is high in fat, sugar, salt, check my video that I did a while back on how to interpret food labels. I've linked that above. Okay, my timer is gone off now, telling me I've done my 10 minutes. I've promised that these videos would not be more than 10 minutes. So we're gonna stop this here and I would continue in the next video. So just follow the link to the next video after this and we would conclude on the lifestyle choices. See you in the next video.